Hey everybody, and welcome to a short introduction to Pawtato Land, a Web3 game that has been launched by the Pawtato team, who actually come from a aggregator service that they built on the Sui blockchain. So it's a Telegram app and a board where it's basically like aggregates everything that you can do on the Sui blockchain. You have your portfolio, positions, development, lending, LP, pool ranges, notifications, all that stuff in there. I think they're running around 150,000 users on that. Probably the best service that you can get on the Sui platform. And recently launched Pawtato Land, an NFT collection on the Sui blockchain that started out with a land mint that sold out in an hour. So basically in the whitelist phase, 15,000 lands were minted, which hold different traits with resources on them. So if you're lucky, you got land with a lot of resources on there. If you're less lucky, then it's a more barren land, but still useful. And then the second phase was land staking, which launched just like shortly afterwards. So if you stake your lands, you're producing those resources on a daily basis. And now we're in the third step of the roadmap, which is crafting, that has been partially released. There's a few steps that are still gonna be released. Afterwards, we're going to get into the merge, which is a combination of lands into estates and provinces. So you can merge 4 lands into an estate, 9 into a province, which are then larger land plots that you can actually build buildings on, and later on place on the Pawtato Land continent, so to say. We don't know too much about this yet, except that you can place those in there, and there's certain points of interest and probably 3 factions, but a lot of speculation still. And the end game is a full strategy MMO. There were some things teased for this, but still a lot of things that are up to speculation. The only thing that we know is that the team is shipping extremely fast, like releases every day. So far, super happy with the speed that this thing is developing. So let's start into the game as it is of now. We have our lands. I have my lands here staked. Obviously, I want to produce some resources. You can see different lands with different resources, not a lot of trees, but big water. I have some here also with a crystal on it. This is like the rarest resource, small crystal only. So there is different sizes of those resource veins, small, medium, large, or none. And there's 2 other traits, sky and soil, that boost the overall resource production for this specific land. I think I have one here, atomic sky, actually boosted by 100%. It's a super rare trait as well, which basically almost triples the resource output of this land combined with the violet soil here. So I'm producing resources that I can look at in this resource production tab. About 6 wood an hour, or per day it's 150 wood per day. More stone, but only half a crystal. It's super rare resource. This is the amount that I currently hold. You can see this going up by the second. And then there is storage. Storage means how much of those resources can I gather before basically the storage is full, and I have to actively claim them into my wallet, or production will just stop until I claim them. I'm gonna do this right now to just showcase you how those resources are now wandering into my little backpack here. And you can see I've accumulated a few resources already, not just those base resources, but also some processed resources, which we will get into in a minute. So we have our lands, we have our resource production, and as I said, we're now in the crafting phase. So there is 12 tools so far that have been released. 4 of them cannot be crafted yet, but you can still have a little look into them, whatever they are doing, but they're still locked. But 8 of them can be crafted. For example, the wheelbarrow. The wheelbarrow actually boosts my storage. So if I have a wheelbarrow, storage gets multiplied, 3x in my case. So I don't have to claim as often, and I can just like go to bed without missing out on any resources. To craft the wheelbarrow, I need wooden planks, so I cannot do this with just the base resources. I need to process those resources first. Luckily, I have a few also iron bars, so I'm gonna just like start crafting this one now, which will take a while to finish, actually 24 hours. I could do that quickly, which I'm not going to do for now by paying a small fee. Once this is finished, I can get it, and there's a chance to have different rarities on this wheelbarrow. 80% almost for common, 20 uncommon, so really small for the high rarity tiers, and the effect that the wheelbarrow gives is dependent on the rarity tier. So there's a range per rarity tier, and then also on the quality of the item. So it can range from 1.5 to 2.0 for like a common wheelbarrow. I do have an uncommon one, which has quality 100, which is the highest, so I'm getting the 3-fold boost on my storage at the moment. There's also other tools that you can craft with those base resources. So you're gonna start out with crafting a handsaw and a hammer of chisel, which are used for resource processing. So if I want to do a wooden plank, I obviously need the wood-based resource, but I also need my tool that is staked to be able to craft those resources. I have actually a rare hand saw here, which effect is that I need less of the base resource to craft a plank. So the higher the rarity, the less base resource I need. Mine is around 80 quality, I think, so I still need 2.06 wood. If I would have a common one, it's 3 wood actually. If I would have 100% quality, then it's going down to like 2 wood. So that's still good, and obviously if you have a better tool, you can do some arbitrage here on the markets by just like crafting those wooden planks for less resources, selling them and buying more resources. So it is a little bit of a race, but a lot of opportunities to also make some money by trading those resources. For the iron bar and gold bar, you need a kiln, and for the stone block, you need a hammer and chisel. Trading resources, I have a short board here where you can actually see the liquidity and the price development of all those resources. So as we are in a Web3, all those things are tradable: iron, gold, coal, water, and so on. And they're actually pumping quite a bit as people are now using them up for crafting. So there is more demand than there is supply, and they're now actually deflationary, even though people are producing resources every day. Crafting just takes a lot of resources. Overall, the economy seems quite well balanced with no extreme inflation mechanisms. And basically all the liquidity comes from the players' resources. So you can provide liquidity, you can buy, sell those resources on different DEXs. You can also do that in the Pawtato app. So they have a swap here where you can trade multiple resources for SUI, USDC or whatever. You can actually also do like direct arbitrage of like gold to gold bar and see if with your tool, if you sell 1 gold bar, you get 2.6 back. Maybe you just need 2 if you have a great tool. So you can basically get free gold resources if you have a good enough tool going on. Going back to the land and my tools. So I actually have a tool ready to collect. The bucket has finished crafting, and I can see now a little preview here of my potential outcomes, the rarities. So they're not just different in effects, but also different in their visual styles. There are some really cool among them. And let's see if I'm getting lucky on this one. Well, that could have been better, but at least the quality is somewhat high, even though it is a common. So I'm not too disappointed with this one. I could obviously craft again, or just use this bucket now and stake it to increase my water production. This brings us to the tool management section, where you can see all the active tools that you have staked for the different slots that are available. So there's like 3 production tool slots, but there's more than 3 production tools, so you actually have to actually decide on a strategy what you want to boost. Since I have quite the high stone, coal, iron, and gold production, which are all getting boosted by the pickaxe, I'm opting for the pickaxe. I don't need as much wood right now, so I'm actually going more for the water production and the storage. I could now also unstake this and stake an axe that would boost my wood production instead of the water production. And then I do have my crafting tools for the 3 different crafting possibilities: woodworking, masonry, and blacksmithing, that I need to process my resources into planks, blocks, and bars. there is different ones that I have. I obviously chose the highest rarity one for the greatest benefit. Some of them I listed on a secondary market. Some of them I'm keeping for salvaging. So there's going to be a salvage mechanic that lets you disassemble tools and get back part of your resources. That's probably going to get released soon. Secondary markets, there's actually two markets for Pawtato Land. The land market, where the floor price is a little bit over 2.5x of the mint price at the moment, and that's just for the worst lands, so to say. If you want something with like a medium crystal, well, you're in for an expensive purchase, but might still pay off. Crystal is traded for like 40 bucks at the moment. So if you're producing one of those just on a day, it's like 40 USD at the moment. So might be a worthwhile investment. No financial advice here though. And then there's the Pawtato Tools market where you can trade and obviously look a little bit into tools. So you don't actually need a land to participate. You could just purchase tools and craft away and trade resources. But obviously land production helps a lot. So if I'm now looking for rare, epic, oh, let's see, there's one legendary one. Or there's actually two legendary ones that have been minted so far. Lucky person. Man, those look cool. High quality with the engravings, but quality one. So got lucky and unlucky at the same time here. So tradable on those markets, they boost certain production to get you ahead of the curve. We also have miscellaneous tools that give just certain benefits. For example, here the idol of the goddess Axomama boosts your chances to get ultra rare resources. Every time you claim your resources, or once every 24 hours, you have the chance to also find an ultra rare resource. Really, really small chance. I think there have not been found even 30 of those so far, so there's not even an active market. We know that they were going to be used in upgrading at least, but this little thing here could boost those chances up to 11-fold. So not too bad to have it, but it's quite expensive to craft, so I only have a common one here. We're now gonna get upgrading released soon, I hope, which enables you to basically use crystal and have a chance to upgrade to the next rarity. Salvaging, and then there's something coming in the direction of durabilities and repair. So you're also gonna get durability and need to repair those things if you use them. And next thing he's teased here is the merging. So a lot of things ahead, super exciting. Team is shipping. I hope you had a little bit of insight now with this short video, and would love to see you also in Pawtato Land.